You are welcome, the Vice Chancellor. Please, can we have our seats briefly? As the practice we have in our industry, the oil and gas industry, safety is everybody's business. And we are calling on Mr. Ikechukwu to give us a safety brief of the auditorium in case we need some assistance. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this all-important function, the Alumni Symposium. I want to assure all of us that all safety precautions have been taken to make sure that we are staying here is comfortable. We have fire extinguishers permanently installed in various parts of this auditorium, and they are manned by experts who are present here in this auditorium. Behind this podium in case of emergency, but I'm not playing for one. We have never had any emergency since we built this auditorium, so it is not going to happen today. So I equally, for confidences, if you have a need to use our small room, I want to, on this note, assure you once again that there are safety measures already in place, so you don't need to fear anything. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Also, you are welcome to the Convocation Alumni Symposium that is happening this 19th Convocation of our great institution. On this note, I will call for the national anthem, please. Can we have the national anthem? Thank you very much. You may have a seat. Okay, please, we call on Pastor Clem Udekwe to lead us in the opening prayer.
Shall we rise to pray? Pray in the name of God the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Heavenly Father, our Creator, our Maker, the Giver of life. Before today, you have already known background today will be. But thank you for the Convocation Alumni Symposium. Thank you for the resource persons who have prepared. We pray for your wisdom and knowledge that your people will be blessed by the reason of this gathering. As we are leaving to visit other assignments, we pray that you go with us. Let's post up what we should do today. All this will be through Christ our Lord. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Once more, you are welcome to today's program. I recognize our Vice Chancellor, Professor Alois Okole. You are welcome, sir. The Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor Chike Mowa, I'm sure he will soon join us. Our area registrar, we call it Chief Amboy. Mr. Ambrose, you are welcome. Dr. Okereke, you are welcome, sir. Dr. Mrs. Jacinta Eze, the acting university librarian, is on her way through. We quality recognize all the names of faculties present, the HODs, directors, other lecturers, students, and equally non-academic staff. You are welcome to the program. The alumni community, you are welcome, every represented by the national president, and you are welcome. The MC is 68 graduates of chemical engineering from this institution. I'm equally welcome myself. You know why I'm here today? The Convocation Alumni Symposium, navigating the transition from campus to career in a challenging economy. I'm happy that I'm seeing a lot of students here because this will really benefit a lot, and I appreciate if you can listen attentively. You will definitely go out of this place fully enriched. On this note, I will request our Vice Chancellor to give us a brief remark. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let me start again. The management of this great university, the deans and directors, my HODs, great lecturers of this great university, ESUT, great ESUT. Well, I've not forgotten it's different. I've not forgotten the president of Alumni Association, Larry, Engineer Larry and his team, the resource persons, my council member, who is here. I don't know whether there's another council member around here. Igbonago is not here. Asoba is not here. The resource persons, keynote speakers, the union member is waiting for me to meet him so that he will mobilize staff for installation. The chairman of JAC, that is our own comrade, okay, and member. I saw, Pastor, you've already introduced yourself with your prayer. The chairman of, state chairman of NSE, Nigerian Society of Engineers, engineer chief or chief engineer, Obialo, is here with us. I've equally seen my friend here, Okereke is here. It was only yesterday when I was seeing the advert that I saw that it is equally a national officer. You are welcome. He came from Ebonyi State University. So all our guests, the president of ESLA is here. You are welcome. The president of SUG is here. You are welcome. If I start calling names, you will drag me into temptation. So, ladies and gentlemen, great ESUT, greatest ESUT, stand here on this part of the ceremonies of 19th Convocation of this great university. Convocation is not all about ceremonies. It is largely about harvesting the gains of coming together. Because it's like an annual ritual. But the ritual is not only to come and dispense of certificates. It's about reviving certain traditions we are forgetting. That is why I'm so happy that the Alumni Association deemed it necessary to organize this very critical symposium. Not symposium to feed us or jamboree, but to inform us about the global trend so that we won't be left behind. And what they are about to discuss is something that we have started processing within the past 1 year or more. The major issue is about graduation and relevance after graduation. The major issue about some of us that are staff, now that we are staff, are we remembering that we are going to retire? Are we remembering that we have to create additional values in us that will enable us to remain competitive so that we can deal positively with issues of employability? So after now, what next? Students, after now, what next? If you collect first class and that's all you can boast of, it means empty certificates. That is why the discourse today will touch on the critical aspects of reviving the inner propensity to deal with the challenging world. And the challenging world is a world that is coming from a fervor of globalization, especially as it connects to the Industrial Revolution, especially the fourth Industrial Revolution. And that is why we really need to be so attentive to this lecture. We have sent some staff to Abuja for training, and they came back, I think, last 2-3 weeks, including the Deputy Vice Chancellor, on how to enhance employability status. And we have decided to create a unit in the university for that employability, so that the unit will be interfacing with respective programs of the university on how to create more relevance to what we teach, so that our product will now be the hottest in the market as it concerns the town that will need their services. If you graduate without having ready-made market, it means that you are having ordinary paper that will fetch you almost nothing. And our target is not to create a mass of people that will be mobilized in such a manner that they will be disgruntled. We want to tackle the market. We want to understand the needs of the market. We want to attune our program with the needs of the market. There in the past, some of you must have benefited that as we are in third, fourth year, industry will come into various universities, start interviewing people, getting relevant people with relevant skills that will be of interest to the enterprise. As you are now dropping your Bible, you already have a place you are going. This time, the trend has changed. We are carrying paper, rushing to beg for something where we don't fit in. So, the critical point is that some of the MOUs we've started signing are tuned towards this employability target. Our lecturers, our staff must understand the present trend. And that's why I was discussing privately with your team this morning. And we mentioned that part of what we are doing, maybe from 19th February or March, will be in Canada to sign MOU. That one is on pure practical entrepreneurship. And that training, the people are now coming heavily here to lead us into what we should know and what we should be doing. Emphasis of our graduates should be showing people what we can offer. Showing, I'm not saying telling them, showing them what we can offer. And what we can offer is by doing, which means regenerating the capacity of our products, including the staff, because we are not addressing our minds to the students. Because if we as staff do not know what to teach, you see a disconnect. So we want to connect you to real connection. And that connection is about the staff being trained in various workshops on what is expected of them, so that they can now transmit to our students. Because if you have viable students, your university will be viable. Because it will transmute into our alumni association being more viable. And they will now be self-employed to engage more students from ESUT. So this and assembling great minds that are not going to say should, but teach us based on what they are already doing, because they are all in the field, already doing it. And that is why ESUT is preoccupied with getting pro bono staff that are in the industry that should be coming to teach in ESUT. We'll still challenge our alumni to mobilize as many as their technically minded members that will come in to help us. If you are coming, it will help us. Our students are already tired of seeing us wearing the same clothes, wearing the same shoe, showing the same face every time in the classroom. They want to see somebody that will come from outside. They will now say, I want to be like this man. I think I'm speaking the minds of the students. Yes. So, the ball is on our court. Help us in the aspect of harnessing the human resources. And ESUT will transmute from the present level we are today into what you have been dreaming for ESUT. I know you have high dreams. And that is why we're able to establish the consultancy unit. If all of us are materially comfortable, VC will have lesser problem in his office. I want my staff to be materially comfortable. I want them to have additional income from the income they are paying, because it is worth nothing now in the market. So we appreciate the staff, appreciate you, so that I don't turn myself into the guest lecturer. I thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, Vice Chancellor. I believe you all got the message. The only thing we'll continue to pray for you, pray for your health, so that we can realize all what you have for us in the university in Jesus' name. When the vice was giving us the opening remark, the Honorable Commissioner for Water Resources, Mr. Felix Nnamani Kevin, Honorable Commissioner, welcome. He was a one-time alumni relations officer of the alumni. You're welcome, sir. Please, before I go to the next program, just in less than 1 minute, being an alumni function, I would just like to recognize the alumni national member, the executives or the NEC members, National Executive Council, that's in attendance today. Engineer Larry, National President, can you stand up for recognition? Let's clap for him. We have Chief Doctor, I don't know, so many titles. Let me just call him Engineer Dr. Innocent Akuvue. He's the alumni representative to the council. Can you stand up for recognition? We have our registrar, equally our member as in the function is the Deputy National President. We have Barrister informer Deputy National Deputy Secretary here. We have Chief Vincent Sunday, is a staff here, is now a president. My humble self is the National Financial Secretary. We have Mr. Mark Sylvester Ndolo from Ebonyi. Mr. Mark Sylvester, where are you? He's in attendance. Doctor, sorry. Thank you very much. Chief Ifeanyi is our Director of Socials. Barrister Solomon Igwesi is the legal advisor. Where are you? Dr. Joseph Ikwebe is our provost. And Mr. Gregory Mba, I'm sure he's here, the President ARO. So these are the national officers in attendance. I could see the President of Owerri chapter and the one-time member of the Port Harcourt branch, Brigadier Udaya, who will soon introduce him. Can you start with Udaya? Brigadier Udaya, welcome, sir. Thank you very much. The next, the VC have given a very solid opening remark from the university side. We now call on our national president to give us the grounding presentation on why we are here today. My national president, Engineer Sir Larry Chidiebere, you are welcome.
Thank you very much, my NFS, my VC, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the NEC officers, the members of council present, the deans, the HODs. I also noticed that the president of ESNA is here, as well as the SUG. Now, it's important that I do this grounding presentation to prepare you for what you are about to see us give you. When we came in, the hall was empty. We felt a bit disappointed, but before you could say Jack Robinson, the wonderful deans and head of departments called our attention to the number of students that were coming into the hall. Please, can our students clap for themselves? I was like you between 1983 to 1988. I have now been working for the greater part of 30-something years. And not just me, some of the wonderful panelists, keynote address presenter that we have gathered for you today are people who are vastly exposed in the industry. They are going to bring to you an experience that will be difficult for you to get in your university. Permit me to ask that as the keynote address is presented, we bring out our papers or our phones and take note of the points that some of us will be hearing for the first time, and then wait for the question and answer time to now ask them. After the keynote address, we will have the panelist session. In that panelist session, we have wonderful professionals, oil and gas, law, the military, the organized private sector. We have them to talk to us on how we can survive in the challenging environment we have found ourselves. I tell you, it's not a crime to be a Nigerian. It's not a crime to also be part of this university. What is a crime is when I, as an individual, is not able to add value that will make me reap the benefit of my hard work. I was happy when I had a brief chat with the Dean of Engineering, and he told me that in his department they have CNC machines. CNC machines are top-tier machines that are used in the industry. I also told him of the need to get, for instance, professionals, first of all, coach them on how to deploy those CNC machines. If you don't have these professionals coming to teach you how to use them, how to maintain them, I can assure you within 6 months you'll pack them up. But with proper coaching, I can assure you that using the CNC machine, you will make so much money for this university that this university can remember. I don't want to talk too much because in the course of the discussions, I will also come in with one or two things. But I want to ask that we please prepare ourselves. You must leave here with something. And the surest way to leave here with something is to take note and then ask questions. Mr. VC, the alumni center you have is the springboard to achieving that. And you will get it. I also want to thank the VC and the management for what I saw recently. And that has to do with the naming of the streets after some of our prominent persons. Thank you very much. Without wasting much time, please, I want us to remember that what we are going into now is a very serious business. It's something that can improve you as students. If anyone has derailed, this is the time to begin to come back from that derailment. It's something that will improve you as lecturers, as leaders, even in your churches, in your homes. And it's something that will make your life better. Thank you very much.
Thank you, National President. We are going ahead to start the business of the day. We are going to invite the keynote speaker. But before then, just give you a little of his profile. The keynote speaker for today is Mr. Lawrence Osakwe. Mr. Lawrence Osakwe holds a master's in engineering degree in petroleum engineering of the University of Osakwe, MSc and BSc degrees in industrial physics of the University of Technology, Oka, now UNIZIC, and University of Technology, Engr, now ESUT respectively. He has over 25 years of industry experience with Nigerian Agri Oil Company, popularly known as NAOC, and has held strategic positions which includes head drilling and completions engineering, head cost control and administration, swamp area operations manager, safety manager, lands manager, operations division manager that covers well area, flow stations and terminal operations, asset integrity and facility maintenance. Lawrence is married and blessed with 4 children. My VC, management of the institution, ladies and gentlemen, can we welcome Mr. Lawrence Osakwe to the podium?
When you are called to advise people on a life journey, especially when you have gone through it yourself. So, what you'll be hearing from me is not what I was told, but what I actually experienced myself. And I know the same experiences in the student. Some of you are scared, I know. But by the time I finish, you see that as a desperate person. And when you overcome fear, you'll conquer. The Vice Chancellor
officers of the university, President of ESUT Alumni Association and Executive, members of the university community, invited guests, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. I consider myself privileged to be given this platform to deliver the keynote address on this occasion of Alumni Day as part of the 19th Convocation Ceremony of the State University of Nigeria. The theme of the address is navigating the transition from campus to career in the challenging economy. The alumni is inspired by the need to make changes in their lives. This is the reason for the dedication of time and resources to bring this enlightenment and courage to you. So at the end of the day, one will develop the courage. Most often, people know where they are coming from. They know where they are going to, but don't know how to get there. The purpose of this address, therefore, is to give insight by providing guidance and strategies on how to navigate through the economic storms to secure a job and manage your career. Simplified terms have been used for the understanding of wider projects because we have to put diverse background. This discussion will highlight the overview of a good and challenging economy, its impact on employers of labor, their employees, and the job seekers. It will also give insight into various strategies that job seekers and the employer need to adopt in the current job market, and in the face of these challenges. When we talk about economy, we refer to all the activities that are related to production and consumption of goods and services in a specific area, like the city, the country, the continent, and the world. A good economy is one that has increasing gross domestic product, low unemployment, high consumer confidence index, increase in home construction, and inflation that is moderate and stable. GDP refers to the monetary value of all finished goods and services made within a country. Increases in new home construction enables job creation as it involves several players from multiple effects on the other sectors of the economy. Therefore, it can be said that a good economy enables consumers and businesses plan for the future with confidence of success under a good economy. On the other hand, an economy is challenging when its financial disorder and decreasing in size. So, financial disorder and the size of the economy is also shrinking, decreasing. Okay. However, if the decrease lasts for up to 6 months, it is termed a recession. Then your economy will be in recession. Okay. However, if appropriate remedial actions are not taken by the government, the decrease lasts up to 62 years. Then it is termed a depression. During this period of depression, there is negative activity with respect to the country's rate. Simply put, the challenging economy is one that falls short of positive indicators that makes a good economy or strong economy. It usually results in poverty, unemployment, and increase in crime rate. So having put this forward, let's now look at overview of what we call economy, what African economy, and what Nigerian economy look like, Victoria. Of various countries or economic units often expressed in average value of all the components or units of the country. Population is a key factor in determining the economic performance of any nation. Ideally, a nation with a higher population is expected to have increase production and consumption of goods, which will boost the economy. The United Nations reported in November 2022 that there are 8 billion people on the planet, and according to projections, there will 2021, and that's what you see on screen. Okay. According to United Population Data as well, the greater population of those who contribute to the population of the world, and then this one, that of Africa, same way, on the right hand side, see the aggregate contribution, in this one. Put off all this AC, and you stay here for like 2 hours, the temperature goes up, and it tells you, well, there's no heat, but you know you're feeling heat. Good. So these economic indices have shown that there is a challenge with what we have presented as a country, as a performance of our economy. And that challenge also came from the World Bank. The World Bank, in article titled Nigeria's Dichotomy, Low Unemployment, High Poverty Rate, published on the 20th of October 2023 on the World Bank blog, expressed some concern as the poverty rate in Nigeria is still high. That's why the low unemployment reported. Data that is made according to data as compiled by trading economists from the Central Bank of Nigeria, the Consumer Confidence Index, which is the measure of perception of consumer on their financial condition, is mostly negative in the past 10 years. Consumer confidence index, when it's 100, that is more confident. Even out of the world, it's sort of 100. But, so that aspect of it reveals what our economy is really is in terms of performance. So, the published trading economics published from Central Bank data that our consumer confidence index have been in the negative for the past 10 years. As of 2020, it stood at minus 14.8. While the global consumer confidence index for 2020, according to statistical data, is average at about 42. We can see it is right. That of the world is positive, 42, but that of Nigeria is going down in negative 14.8. In essence, we could have a large economy, but the quality depends on the economic output per person. A good example is the case of China and Canada and the IMF data on the top 10 largest economy in the world, as presented by Forbes in October 2023, where China dropped from second position, second largest economy. Put before you, make yourself valuable, so that at the end of the day, you will decide what to offer. As soon as you make the offer, people will come back. There are people who have presented offers. You have my history. I want to do all this. And I got the share employment. And I said, no, I want to remain that for 4 years. Because you wonder why this company worked. So yes, so why is not there? Rather, he chose to be with the agents. It's my choice. I made a decision. And for my students that I teach, I tell them, make yourself so vulnerable that at the end of the recruitment process, the final decision will be on the table to make, not out of the employer. Because once the employer says, you have been offered the job, fail this acceptance letter, blah, 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 they have lost their own. That in engineering design, that gate is closed for them. It is not you who decide whether you want to go. And when you turn it down, a good company will go and check why are some people rejecting our offer. That is the big problem for some companies. Okay. Stay current and up to date. There is little benefit to sharing your profile with and CV with recruiters when it is filled with knowledge of old technologies. Example, you remember the 4 Ps of 2 decades ago, the 4 Ps that we use. It is now old technology. Presently, everything is saved in the cloud. And cloud engineers, another aspect that Barr mentioned. Cloud engineers are what? They are making a lot of money around the world. So whatever you do, ensure you stay current. Today, it is very common to apply for a job online. Even the technical process these days is done online. You don't know what to waste money calling you and giving customer feedback. No. They arrange online discussion with you. once are complete. The already employed can also mitigate the risk of losing job by doing the following. Diversify your skills for both present and higher roles that they have made itself. This will enhance your multitasking capability.
His engineering sense is our own. We all know him. I believe we have had his profile a lot in the past. Be that as his name, he is a chemical engineering graduate from this university and graduated in 1986. He's the chairman CEO of GGI Group of Companies. GGI Group of Companies in the oil and gas industry is well known everywhere in the country, even outside the country. He has gotten so many awards internationally. Even everywhere in the whole world, you can't do without mentioning GGI. GGI, he brought his diverse engineering experience to bear when he assembled engineers in the company and they successfully engineered the design, construction, and commissioning of a 100% locally built sodium hypochlorite plant, which today produces sodium hypochlorite of international quality. Gentlemen, can we welcome engineer Dr. Innocent Akuvue? Thank you. The next is Brigadier General Chidiebere Udaya, retired. Brigadier Chidiebere Udaya has, in the course of his military career, attended many courses, both in Nigeria and outside the country. He has held several positions in the country, in the military. In the course of military career, attended many courses, amateur ammunition technical officers course, material management and work study officers, so many courses, I can't name them. He's a member of the Alumni Port Harcourt branch in the past. Please join me to welcome Brigadier General Chidiebere. We have Engineer Chidozie Okereke. Engineer Chidozie Okereke is equally an alumnus of this university. He has his first degree in chemical engineering and graduated in 2003. He is presently the president of Owerri branch of the alumni and a member, a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. You are welcome, sir. We have Barrister Chidiebere, Nwabueze, Udekwe. Sorry. Please, Barrister Chidiebere Udekwe is a legal practitioner based in Abuja. He read law from this university. He obtained a certificate from this university in 2004 and has several successful careers. Chidi is a notary public of the Supreme Court of Nigeria, an active member of the Nigerian Bar Association and the West African Bar Association, where he is the program officer. He is married with 2 boys. Yes. Thank you very much. Now is the moderator. We equally invite our keynote speaker, Mr. Osakwe. Can you join the discussion, please? Finally, I will invite the moderator. For some of you in South Port Harcourt, Warri, even some parts in Enugu, his name is well known in the industry, Mr. Dayo, Elusakin. Dayo Elusakin is passionate about education that comes from proper education dissemination. He has written articles for a number of national dailies, most notably as a columnist with Next newspaper. Also, he has practiced as a broadcast journalist for over 15 years. In Nigeria, Port Harcourt, or in Nigeria Info FM 2.3, he is the anchorman for Hard Facts. Dayo continues to seek opportunities to inform and educate the public employing the media. Join me to welcome Dayo Elusakin. On this note, I will hand over the microphone to Dayo to anchor this session. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone. And thank you all for joining us for the invitation. I plan to make some observations though before I begin the discussions with the panelists. When we came in earlier today, the National President mentioned the role of virtually empty. And at some point, the crowd began to build, and there was built optimism as to what this engagement would deliver. However, upon getting there now, to voting, I'm seeing that lots of population.
Okay, thank you. So as I was saying earlier, we have a sizable population here a while ago, and I believe that a large percentage of that population is made up of students. Unfortunately so, I observed that many, or some, maybe many, of the students have left for reasons best known to them. But this occasion, or this event, was designed not just to have the Vice Chancellor or other principal staff, or even academic or non-academic staff in your life, and this is a life lesson, I suppose. There's always going to be a sifting process. It's inevitable. It always happens, even with animals in the jungle. The rest of you who are here, I'd like for you to stand up on your feet if you're a student, and for others, can you please appreciate the students who have stayed back for this event? Please appreciate them. Appreciate the students. Stand up on your feet, please. Stand up on your feet. You can be seated now. It would be nice if those of you students who are still here can also speak with each other afterwards, connect, exchange numbers, because a few years from now, don't be surprised if some of those colleagues of yours who have left here, you get a strange call someday, and you say, who is this? And they say, that's your classmate from uni days. Can he help you with something? And you remember that the person, when they had an opportunity to learn what you are learning today, did not stay back, but they left. Because I have a feeling that if Ira Star, or Burna Boy, or Fireboy, Joe Boy DML was here for a concert right now, this auditorium would not be enough to accommodate all of those students. They would all fill this hall, and we will be struggling for crowd control. So thank you once again, and congratulations to those of you who are still here for making our time to be here today. Now to the focus where this fine gentleman are seated here at this time. The National Executive Council of ESUT Alumni Association, as part of the 19th Convocation program of events, have organized this symposium, and with it has come a panel session. And we are, for this panel session, our topic is building a successful career in a challenging road. The road truly is challenging. For those who are parents or even grandparents today, our students, you may have heard their parents or older relatives talk about a time they refer to as back in the day, or the good old times. The road, as it grows older, becomes even more challenging. I had challenges growing up, and I do not envy you, because the challenges are more even now than they ever were. And the challenges will be more even in the future as well. But challenges of themselves are not a bad thing. They simply provide you the impetus, to provide you the opportunity to improve yourself and better yourself and position or reposition yourself to meet those challenges. And the people who succeed in life are the ones who are prepared to meet those challenges and conquer them. My panelists have been introduced already, so no need to go over that again. Before I begin the question session, I do have some questions for my panelists, which I'm certain they will provide adequate responses to. And also, if you have any questions, students, staff, please put them down on a piece of paper and pass them to someone who will identify who that is shortly, so we can ask our panelists those questions by the time I'm done discussing with them here. So put your questions down on a piece of paper and pass them across, and we'll get to them as soon as we can. But before I start with my line of questioning, I would like to ask my panelists here, based on the presentation of our keynote speaker a while ago, and the topic of this panel session, which once again is building a successful career in a challenging road. I'd like just a few minutes, 3 minutes, your thoughts on this, your quick thoughts on this, before I get to questioning.
Thank you very much, the moderator, and good afternoon, everyone. I want to leverage on the well-established protocols. I think this is the best subject matter we would have had for this convocation. And why do I say so? Moving from the classroom into the industry or into the outside world. What I always advise young people is, what do you really want to be? What do I want to be? Because what you want to be determines where you are going to be. For example, if you're a chemical engineer, for example, which I'm one, your destinations are probably Port Harcourt, Warri, Kaduna, where there are process industries, where there are refineries, where there are oil industry. And the question is, how do you prepare yourself to be there? That is it. And Lawrence was emphatic on that, developing the appropriate skill for you to be able to get the right job. People say there is no job. That is not true. Jobs are there, especially for those who are prepared for it. If you want to be a career civil servant, if you want to be a career personality, it means you aspire to work in well-established industries, the IOCs like international oil companies and all that. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you don't need to work in such places because you wouldn't learn the act of patience, tolerance, and determination and commitment. I chose to work in the private company from beginning in 1988 because I knew what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a business owner. I wanted to be a strong entrepreneur. And I left attending interviews in companies like Shell deliberately because I know if I went that path, I may not be where I am today. I chose to work in a small company where I had all the experiences I could get to run my own business. So what am I trying to say? Decide what you want to be. If you want to be a business owner, you must be ready to take risks. You must be ready to prepare yourself for what they call soft skill. And always remember that the essence of university education is to prepare you for anything at all. That's why you have in the banks people who read chemistry, physics, engineering, and it will also interest you to know that over 80% of bank workers actually didn't read banking and finance. That's the truth. They prepare themselves for what they want to be because the aptitude tests for the banks are usually mathematics, and people in sciences do better in that. And you find them in that career and they begin to develop themselves. I run an oil and gas company today. I didn't just start like that. I started like a small person, small business, general contractor like you would say. And I began to cut a niche for myself, begin to train myself, begin to do the appropriate programming and training until I get to where I am today. Today, I can tell you here and now that I have in my employment 82 workers. 70 of them are university graduates. 70 of them are university graduates. 60 of them are engineers of different fields, especially chemical engineering. And my joy today is that families plan their life around me. So, I don't want anybody living here to believe. That's why we're worried that the students are leaving, because the students need to know that there is future for everybody in this place. There is future for everybody, especially in this university. Some of us have made names for you to ride on. Some of us have made names for you to ride on. That is the truth. And if you don't take advantage of that, it's all your business. It is nobody's to blame. Society has no sympathy for poverty. There are some of us who are very good at letting the world know that I am from this background and they want to carry my family. Nobody is interested in that. People want to see persons who are positive-minded, who are chasing their ambition in the right way. Students are quick to, just like he said, if it was Davido, this whole place is going to be filled up. If it's something that has to do with flashiness, this place will be filled up. People must learn to build solidly. Those of us, those students who do Yahoo, always ask yourself, how long are those things sustainable? Today you are there, the next day you are crashed. But if you grow gradually, at each point you consolidate and grow again, consolidate and grow again, I tell you, you will never regret passing through university and the university passing through you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Engineer Dr. Akuvue. I'd like to implore the other panelists, please, to limit your initial thoughts to 3 to 5 minutes. Thank you very much. Next is Brigadier General CFJ Udaya retired.
Thank you very much. Let me start by saying that the best thing that has happened to all the students sitting here is listening to this topic, to this team. If many of us have had the benefits of being prepared for the challenge of what to expect when we leave university, because I tell you that students dream big when they're investing. They think, okay, after youth service, I'm going to get a job, but it is not always there. The reason why it is not always there is not because the jobs are not available. Like he rightly said, the jobs are very available, but because you have not been adequately prepared for the job that you want to get. The lead presenter made an allusion when he described the economy. He described the economy. I want to simplify what he said about the economy in ordinary terms. In the US Army War College, they describe it as VUCA. They say the environment is volatile, it's unpredictable, it is complex, and it is ambiguous. And that's what he has described. And for you to get what you want in such an environment, you have to be strategic about it. And what does that mean? You have to plan. If you set out not to plan, you have already decided to fail. And in a nutshell, if you employ the strategic planning mantra, you will achieve whatever you set out to do in life. First and foremost, as a person, you must have a vision. What do I want to be in life? If you want to be an academic, you want to be a vice chancellor like our VC, then first and foremost, you must be an academic. So that will be your vision, to be a vice chancellor. Then your mission will be to be an academic, because if you are not an academic, there's no way you can be a vice chancellor. Then you have an objective. What are the objectives? To go to school, read and become an academic, and progress gradually and successfully within your field of study to become a professor and then become a vice chancellor by the grace of God. Then you have to have a plan, a strategy. And what is your strategy? Before you have a strategy, you have to conduct your SWOT analysis. And what's your SWOT analysis? You have to look at what is your strength, what are your weaknesses, what are the opportunities available in the environment, and what are the threats. By the time you conduct your SWOT analysis, you look at what are your strengths. I want to go to school to study, and I don't know mathematics. You can't be an engineer. I want to go to school to study, you don't know history, literature, and government, you cannot be a lawyer. So you conduct a SWOT analysis, and then from your SWOT analysis, it will lead you to the appropriate profession that will suit your capacity and capability. Again, you look at what are the opportunities available for you. Your father is an engineer, he has had 20 years of experience, so your father has laid a foundation for you. Or there are communities and meetings like the alumni associations that you can latch upon to build your career. So when you conduct your SWOT analysis, you'll be able to have a plan. I will go to school. I can afford to pay school fees. I can't afford to pay school fees. I will go and become a technician. But when you fail to conduct this analysis, and then as you progress, at every stage you progress, you review your position. Because the environment, like I said, is volatile. It does not remain constant. It it changes at every point in time. So you have to look at your environment, constantly review the environment, constantly review the opportunities available to you, constantly review the threats available to you. So we can sum up this presentation he has said today by looking at the strategic planning mantra, which is, we already said it, Vimosa. You look at the vision, you look at the vision, look at the strength and the threats available in the environment. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, Engineer Chidiebere was.
I appreciate the students that are here. I graduated 20 years ago from this institution in the Department of Chemical Engineering. Honestly speaking, whatever you are getting from this institution is the bedrock of what you need. In the alumni where I'm also the president, the one will say ESUT graduate survives everywhere, anywhere. If you go to every aspect of this country, you see an ESUT graduate. Please, a lecturer has not for yourself. Honestly speaking, the training I got as a student, the tediousness, the reality of the then where we are at the ESUT Agbani with the dusty environment will pencil you to be whatever you want to be. As a student, have you identified with your professional body? You are a chemical engineering student. Have you identified with the chemical engineering student chapter of your profession? As an accountant student, have you identified with the association as a student? These are all, we need mentorship. Apart from whatever we got here as students, we need mentorship. We need to have somebody you look up to. When I was in school, I thought I would work in the oil and gas industry, which I'm working but under government. After school, I started working with my state government. I'm the first chemical engineer even state employed in their service. So I don't have a superior, but you know, you need to be a good engineer for you to mentor others. Now I have up to 100 junior engineers under me that they look up to me as their boss in the office. But that does not stop you because you are a public servant, you are a civil servant, you are an academic staff. This falls in also for most of us that are lecturers here. You say in the morning, by 7 you prepare to come to work, by 4 you are home. What else do you do? As I am here, I can consult on 5 areas. I'm a public servant, civil servant, but I can consult on different areas: process, safety, environment, quality assurance. Here, I can do all those comfortably, but that does not come from the undergraduate experience. This is what the speaker tells us about training yourself, being a multitask person. As an engineer, be able to do different areas of any area very well, not being master of all trade, but being specifics and be able to develop yourself there so that you can advise. Most of the times I will be in the office, I will have a call to come and consult. I consult for a Canadian company in safety. They started 2016 until today. I don't go there every day, but once they have issues, I'll come. When they have inspectors coming for big, they have one big, we have company that work millions and millions of jobs because of the way we partner. We started small, four staff, and now they are big. So it does not stop you from your area. You are in Enugu. What am I going to benefit being in Enugu? Train and retrain yourself. Please, for the students, if you're a computer engineer, you are a science student, you are this, try to do other trainings that can help you. The speaker when he was speaking, he said, I saw myself in whatever he talked about today. You need to be able to go out of your comfort zone. Go out of your comfort zone. You might be able to be saving your transport fare to be able to have a training. I have 5 children. From the 3rd one upwards, during the holiday, I engage them. First daughters, I engage them in what they do. Not during the long vacation, I will take them to lessons. No, I take them to a trade. The one that is 10 years can do cake for you. Comfortably do bake any type of bakery. At 10 years, it's just one. She can do that for you. And can you imagine what she will be in the next 5 years? She's a student to school. Once school starts, please face your studies. But during the holiday, what else do you do? As an undergraduate, what do you do? Is it just coming here in the morning and going in the afternoon? Please let us put more effort in developing ourselves in any other aspect of our life. Thank you.
Friends that are here, and I want to do that by saying of the greatest Nigerian student, of the greatest Bobo, of the greatest Mama, unstoppable Wagabo. I had to do that because as of 2003, I was the student union government president. And when I find myself in a student occasion or gathering like this, I'm tempted to always do that too. I beg your pardon. All right. The speaker actually delivered a top-notch lecture, if you ask me. And I took one thing home from all the things he said, just one thing. And that is also what has been trending to speak to some extent around the world now. You hear people that are even already employed saying that they are doing things or they want to do things that will bring more income. The name is multiple income. And what does this suggest? It suggests that apart from what you are doing, that there is need for you to do other things. Now, how do you go about doing these other things? You see, the world is a social place now. Most of us have access to social media. What do we do in social media? There are a lot of trainings, there are a lot of courses that are free, just like the speaker said. Have we been able to access these free trainings? What do we do with the time that we have or with the time we go through social media? And these trainings are 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month. You find that you will have a certificate. You will find that you will have an additional certificate that can make you or place you ahead of your colleagues, ahead of your mates. Because at the end of the day, when you begin to present your profile, or when you begin to present your CV, and then you have certificate in 1, you have certificate in 2, you have certificate in 5 or 6 other things that are not major, that is not measuring in what you have studied in the university or what you are studying in the university. It already gives you an advantage. And so, I think that it is very, very important that while you are even sitting in the classroom or while you are at home after school, as a student, instead of chatting, instead of watching most of the videos you see on social media, how many sites, some of these free sites do you visit to go through and then get this information from? Another thing is this. It is not something that is peculiar with our society. As a student, how many holidays have you been able to go out to look for a job? Holiday job, how many of us does that? How many of us? You see, just one person. 2, 3, 4. Now, if you check the number of students that are here, just about 4 persons are able to go out there during holidays and then get jobs. There are some of us may be working and then, of course, sponsoring ourselves for school. But most of us during holidays, what do you do in your time? Because this is where you now begin to gain experience. This is where you begin to add in your CV that you've worked in this place, you've worked in this place, you've worked in that place. And some of these things are the experience that we say that counts. So if you're not able to do this at this particular time, by the time you graduate,
You may find it difficult, but the time may no longer be there for you to get the experiences that you may need to be able to face a world that is changing every now and then. And talking about changing, how many of us have had the opportunity to look at the trend of the working system now? Well, my colleague talked about being a civil servant and all, but being a civil servant, is it when you look at the future, do you think it is the same way work is being done now that it might be done in the future? We are talking about robots taking over people's jobs in some countries. In fact, in Abuja a few weeks ago, a robot was controlling traffic. And so when you look at these, and then you look at the next 5, 10, 20 years, will you be able to fit in what is going to happen in the changing world? Have you looked at, or have you sat down to say, okay, even though I'm studying economics, and the world is changing into becoming a technology hub, what is the aspect of technology that is that can be compared or likened to economics? How do I begin to work towards being part of the changing society in the next 10 years? And then, of course, while having that in mind, you also begin to ask yourself the question: if I graduate today, what kind of work will I be able to get? Have you been able to make research to see the works that are trending at the moment? Because we all know that for the fact that you read a particular course does not mean that that is where you may end up practicing. So have you been able to say, okay, if I graduate and I'm not able to get work here, will I be able to get work in other places and fit in with my certificate? And if your answer is no, have you been able to ask yourself, have you been able to say, okay, there is need for me to begin to look at other aspects where I might be able to fit in? Now, before I'm done, I want to, a few resources have suggested that some jobs will be in high demand. For instance, sales manager, software developer, data analyst, digital marketer, healthcare professionals. This is where the world is heading to. And like I said, notwithstanding what you are reading now, some of these things that I have been able to bring out now, some of them you can even get certificate free on the social media. For instance, data analyst, even digital marketing. What does digital marketing mean? It just means using your phone to sell a product. Now, how many of us have been able to say, okay, I can sell this at house phone, let me try and see if this is where I can begin to get my own extra income. So there are many avenues where we can fit in to begin to follow the changing trend in the world. There are many aspects of a career path where you can take, notwithstanding what you are doing at the moment, that will help you to fit in the nearest future of where the world is heading to. Before I finish, in law, for instance, which is my field of practice, in the United States of America, the issue of the robot being practicing law is a very big problem there now. The robot has been a robot that was created. It's practicing law. Yes, it's practicing law. The only challenge now is that he has been taken to court, and the challenge now is that he has been taken to court because the question is, when was it called to the bar? But at the end of the day, we find that the world is moving from analog, from manual to technology, and we need to move. Okay, thank you very much.
We'll be speaking with the Lawrence Osakwe for now. He was our keynote speaker, and he had quite some time to express his thoughts, so we'll speak for now. I remember, please, if you have any questions, you can put them down on a piece of paper and hand them over to MC of the day. Please, MC. Over to him. Now, I have questions for the panelists here. One thing I'd like to implore the panelists is so we since this. I'd like to direct it to examinations. When you do that and you get that degree and you get that certificate, that is it. That's the magic wand. It's going to open every door for you. So, but you all here talking about strategizing. We're talking about strategizing. He mentioned SWOT analysis a while ago. I thought it was just go to school, get a degree, and that. Yeah, I imagine that's what some of the students are thinking as well. And those who may have left also. After all, we are in school already, getting the degree. What else do they want from us?
Thank you. Okay, I think you just take me back to what I did say at the beginning of my contribution. And I think the speaker also said that when he said if there are 4 people with first class, something has to distinguish one person among the other 3. And that's what it is. I did say, ask yourself first and foremost, what do you want? If you want to pursue a career, for example, in a particular field, what you need to do is to go the extra mile, understand it very well. I mean, if, for example, there are opportunities in the army, you need to develop, you need to find out everything you should know about the army. If you're looking for like I have a career page in my company, if you go there, you are supposed to know what the company does, prepare yourself for it. So, graduating from the university doesn't just end it. Preparing yourself for what is generally called soft skill, it's what counts now. I want to work in the oil industry. What am I supposed to do that some other persons don't know? Even if some other persons know, how much advantage do I have over them? And this is by going the extra mile to take courses, prepare yourself. Let me just tell you something. Most people come to Port Harcourt or River State for NYSC, not knowing that in River State you do not serve, you teach, except you're a medical doctor or a lawyer. Okay? So when you come there, and I just said, look, what you need to do is, even if you're teaching, pick up something that has to do with the industry. The simplest of it all is usually HSC. Develop yourself on safety and read and prepare yourself. It makes you closer to the industry. So, Dayo, the fact is that whatever you want to be, you need to work towards being that. I think that's a simple answer. Thank you.
And the next question, the world as it is right now, for many, especially for many young persons out there, when we started this, expressed some thoughts about the students who have left. Someone paraphrased my words and was saying it was a flashy event. It was flashy, you might see how the person said. But the students haven't time anymore. We seem to live in a flashy world as well, where the people who are most identified with, the people who are most respected, treat you so. It depends on how flashy you are. What kind of car is he driving? What kind of watch is he wearing? You are wearing very snazzy watch. What does it do? What is the quality of the time? What is the bank balance? What does it control? How much can you move when you move at once? So it's not all that matters. So this is really if I hammer, once I hammer, anyhow, any which way, once the money is there, it's not all that counts. I'm sure, why am I here? Why are we here? Why are we studying? Why are we getting a degree? It's not so we can get a job and make lots of money. So why should I go through that entire process if I get lucky or strike lucky and I hammer? Isn't that all that matters eventually?
Okay, actually, this question is the problem we are suffering from now. when we are in university, you come to car park, you see only lecturers' cars parked there. But now if you go to any university, I know my school is different. If you come to the ones where I live, Futo, ESUT, lecturers don't see where they park their cars. Those car parks are taken over by the students. So this question is the problem we're having now. If you are looking up to engineer, is wearing a watch, good watch, a good shoe. As a student, you are wrong. Take those things away. I'm the only child of my mother. He will tell you, Dozeman, please forget these things. You give it to people. And that's what is happening. You want to have a phone. A secondary school girl want to have a phone. A young boy want to have a phone now. That's what matters to him. How do their parents, at what level do their parents have their own phone? They went to school, studied, saved, get married to your mother, and now I'm training you. Well, you know what that you buy me for? That's not where it is. The problem we have in society now is because they want to live above their level. If students want to drive a car, why as a student, it's not bad, but the economy and the environment we have, you need to concentrate. That's why when they brought ESUT here, I'm happy, because it took us away from some distraction in the capital. Now you come to school, you know you're in school. So my advice to students is that everything has a process.
Why should I bother that process? Why should I bother with acquiring that knowledge? Why should I bother getting the soft skills that he mentioned? Why should I bother when I can just come?
Because that's what we mean by growing yourself organically. Growing yourself organically in the sense that equip yourself with skills. You can survive anywhere. That's what one thing this school does to any graduate, any undergraduate or graduate from here. The school will make you to survive every terrain. If you go to Port Harcourt, our alumni is the highest. Even to UNN that is older, those ones are small. Our own chapter in Okereke, we are barely 1 year, but we are making things happen. We're making things happen. So the same thing with you have to have the. So I don't know how to put it, but you have to allow yourself to take the process. The way you hammer, the way I don't hammer. Now let us look at those people that are hammered and people that go into the passage. You see the trends. All of us here have passed through the processes. If even there is meltdown or there are meltdown, we will survive because we are that. But do you look at it as is it tired? Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, let me just add something to what he just said. I remember as a student in the old Anambra State University of Technology, I had friends or classmates who had cars as students. And then if you enter their rooms, I used to have 4 battery radio cassettes, and I would enter their rooms and I would see double deck black systems. You just be listening to the music, I would enter my room and I ask myself, am I cursed? And I got very frustrated, I must tell you the truth. But I tell you, few years later we left university. How God balances things. These people have already had their picture. That's it. They had no drive, no ambition, nothing. Because we came out aggressive for what we missed in school, we were everywhere. Anywhere there were opportunities, we were there. I'm telling you, many of them today, when they come, I do a check of $500,000 and say, things have been fast. So that is the truth. So it is good to build solidly. Let me tell you, as a student, forget about those flashy things. It never lasts. Never. You see,
when you rush into anything, you will quickly rush out of it. When you grow steadily and progressively, the truth is that you will be stable and balanced. But when you rush into a thing, I just want you to look at the lifestyle of all the people that have hammered. Take a look, you know them by yourself. I don't want to call names. Take a look at all the people that have hammered, how they have ended up. And the people that have worked for their money diligently and carefully and legally, they always end up having a happy and satisfied life. So that's just what I want to do.
Yes, on my own part, I want to say that there is nothing anybody does without laying foundation. And being in school and going through the process is the foundation you are laying. So it is important that you lay foundation. Also, if I look at it from my own profession, for instance, when you are called to Barr, it is expected that before you begin to apply for some certain things, you must have practiced for 7 years, you must have practiced for 10 years. Now, this is foundation that you are laying. I'm sure it's like that in some other professions. So you don't see that being in school now is a waste of time. No, it is not a waste of time. Because from what I have said earlier, if this foundation is properly laid, then it means you can do any and every other thing. If you don't lay this foundation, you just ordinarily become a dropout. That is it.
Okay, I just want to add a few points. It's a great okay, you know, Malcolm X told us that the future, our passport to the future is in education. And you all know Michael Tyson. You know Michael Tyson, the street boy. He made all the money that any young man with energy to make, right? You all know Muhammad Ali. Same boxer. He made all the money that he made. Go and check the video clips of these two guys. Michael Tyson is one of them that is threw away with free. You know why? Sorry. Why? Look like I wish I had towards education. One thing one of the interviews also said that all the money we made, I was doing the students. Because if you had education, if you was educated, you would have been able to manage the person better. That's simply for my question. So, how you make money? What do you think? Education helps you to plan yourself better. That is one good thing that Malcolm X summarized by saying that our passport to the future is education. So go to the website, go with my lessons in the America to find a man on education. You will see for yourself, at least you know these people have made great money, and you see they are getting on and be educated. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next question is to Dayo. Okay, fine. So I will get in education then. Maybe I will even get some soft skills. I'll go through the process. But again, the teacher is challenging. The robots are doing things already. AI is here. Why should I overly exert myself? You know what I'm going to do? I have an uncle who was in the military. I will just get into the military. Job security. I have my dad, he's working for the federal government, some ministry. I will just align myself. Once I get ministry job, I'm fine. My mom's junior cousin, engineer, is working with the government as well. Once I get government work, I'm good. Job security, they can't sack me, we have union. And when I leave after 20, 30 years my military service, pension for life. Why should I also bother myself to be competitive in any way?
Thank you. You see, in life, there are no shortcuts. This session, I think, is the session where we can be frank to each other. what he has just said, or what he has just described, is a national problem that we have today. There are many people who are in paid employment either because they have somebody as their godfather or somebody as Abraham for them. They are not very qualified for the jobs that they have. The military is not an exception. We have people like that in the military. But I tell you what it is doing to the military. We are conducting operations in the country today. We are conducting operations in the northeast. We are conducting operations in the south-south and in almost all the geopolitical area of the country. But we are losing men. Soldiers are dying needlessly because they are commanded by incompetent young officers who have not learned the ropes. It is happening in organizations. Private companies are losing money because they have young managers who have not learned the ropes, that make mistakes that ordinarily they shouldn't have made. Companies have people who steal money and they cover it up with unnecessary bureaucracies. So it is important that you learn the skill. One, for those young officers that have led men to die in operation needlessly, or that have killed themselves recklessly because they have failed to pass through the meals. What do you tell them? They are dead, they are gone. That godfather that put them there may still be alive and be regretting his deeds. The Nigerian economy is suffering today because we have people who are round holes in square pegs. And that's what he has described. So I think the important thing, even for your self-satisfaction, even for the growth of your company, the growth of your enterprise, the right thing is for you to endeavor to learn the skills. In a competitive environment, it puts you ahead. It puts you ahead. When your CV is put side by side with another person, they look at your CVs. Because you have additional skills, it gives you leverage, better leverage. And at the end of the day, in the evening, you can go home happy that you have put in a good day's job for yourself.
Okay, I think let me just say that there is nothing terribly wrong in getting advantage of a relationship. I think where something goes wrong is where you take undue advantage of it. If I am a vice chancellor, for example, and of course I know there's going to be so much pressure on me by relations and all that, and I have an opportunity and I bring somebody in, I expect that person to grow meritoriously, not based on the fact that I was brought in. And let me give you an instance. My first son works with me as my technical assistant. I didn't make him a manager because he's my son. I didn't make him a director because he's my son. He has to grow through the ropes to get there. Okay? So, if somebody puts you in the army, for example, the bonus is on you to do what? To make yourself a good soldier. So that the man who has put you there, all he gets is beautiful testimonies about your performance. That's what it showed me. So people should, like I tell alumni members in Port Harcourt, there are two ways you can get a job. It's either you are brilliant to the point that every aptitude test you write or every interview you go, you excel. Or as an alumni member, anytime there is something, you are visible. You are doing something, everybody's noticing you, and an employer will say, who is this guy? He says, his name is Innocent. Innocent, can you see me in the office tomorrow? He comes to my office tomorrow, I put a note to my admin manager, interview and employ. Nobody cares whether you have a first class or anything. If you have that opportunity, do what? Make the best out of it. Don't say because I was given automatic employment, I'm going to be a mess. No. work hard so that the man who recommended you will be ever happy that he did. Thank you.
I would like to ask this question first with referring to the Vice Chancellor, the principal staff, and the entire academia, a mix of the academic system in Nigeria, with great respect. Not to you, Barrister. The world is a global village, getting smaller every day. And right now, even these students here, very soon, if not already, are going to be competing with counterparts all over the world, not just here in Nugu or in Nigeria for that matter. Technology all over, or in some other parts of the world, is moving at such alarming speed. The things when you go online and you read what's happening, the challenges that they're contending with, the kinds of conversations and discussions that they are having, and you come back home and you listen to the kinds of conversations we're having, the discussions we're having, it's almost like we're different species, we're not all humans. Because we're moving at such incredible speed and the appears we're crawling here. And the same might be said of even the quality of our education as well. These are the curriculum planning, curriculum design. What's happening over there versus what's happening over here. Am I doing there as a student? It doesn't matter what I learn over there, I'm going to get that degree here. Hopefully it's a first class degree. But how well do I compare with a colleague, say from Buckingham, or from Harvard, or from even other universities that may not be Ivy League in different parts of Europe? Should I bother myself with all this extra effort? Because whatever I do, I just might not be able to compete with them.
I think that the first thing is I think that one of the challenges or one of the problems we have in our educational system is our curriculum. We are in 2023, and the world, like you have just rightly mentioned, it's moving as fast as a bullet. Now, this morning we were just discussing, and someone mentioned the fact that if you go to some of our primary schools or nursery schools now, they still robots or being taught IT. And then when you now come down to our space here, like I mentioned, we are being taught about some certain things that we even already know. So there is no challenge, there's no challenge, there's no that curriculum or that subject that we are being taught, there is no creativity, so to say, with respect to the subject that is being taught. I give you an instance. If we look at the society as it is changing, have we been able to say, okay, this course is no longer required in this discipline? This course is no longer required in this discipline. That the course that should be required in this discipline is the course that would make us to understand the trend of the changing society. I gave an instance in the morning in that discussion that a few years ago there are some courses in law that became obsolete. They were no longer necessary to be taught to students as lawyers, and they were changed. And that is what we should be doing. We should not continue to be, rely on what we were taught back then. It still remains in the curriculum, and then we keep teaching it, and then it does not even have any impact with what is going on as far as information technology is concerned. So I think that is the first thing we should endeavor to do.
Thank you, Barr. So the Barrister, in response to that question, he spoke about the managers of our educational system, the administrators, and that's fantastic. Like General Udaya coming here, if you will, General, considering your experience in the army, and you know all about technology students for military technology and advancement is critical for being coordinated between life or death or success in the war or in the battlefront or not. Now, when the system appears not to be making a success or the advancement that it wish to make, for example, in this case, the educational sector, what then can the students, these students who are here right now, who are going to be competing globally with colleagues who don't have that challenge? She described children being taught robotics already. Some of our students here probably have never seen one before, probably will never see one to the Akuvue. How can they then compete fully with counterparts in other parts of the world? Whilst our administrators are working out, improving curriculum, which should be done.
Hello. Well, I think that just like a colleague had said here, that the challenge has to now go back to our educational system. Our educational system was to mirror what like the DC, when the DC was speaking here, he was talking about the gown and the town. The gown was to mirror what the demand of the town is. They train students to be able to fit in to what the job markets or what the town is requiring. And there's supposed to be a marriage between the university or the academics and the city. What the city wants, what the university should teach. Okay. If I bring it home clearly, let's look at the medical environment. A lot of Nigerians leave the country to travel to developed nations because of the advancement in medical sciences in order to have good health. But the problem is that the majority of Nigerians are unable to afford such treatment, so they are unable to access such health treatment. So if our government and our educational system and our educational planners plan to mirror what is needed in the universities or the educational system to meet what the society is asking for. I don't know.
Just one thing. If I want to ask, are we still teaching full-time in engineering?
No.
Engineering lecturer?
No, sir.
So first you don't see this contract the system to the
Yes, I want to say something about this because most times we blame lecturers and lecturers. Every student who is in the university should understand what they are come to do. It's as simple as that. University is not secondary school, it is university. You prepare yourself. If you keep believing on lecturers, I used to tell them, sometimes I ask myself, why did I instead of my children overseas? My daughter went to the University of Houston, had a second master's degree in University of Agbani, and they ended up being married by somebody who went to the university. So, yeah, and I'm just like, why did I have to spend all that kind of money? You know, so it is about the individual, it is about the student. The student should know that I am here to learn, prepare myself beyond even what the lecturer is teaching you. So I have never believed and I have never succumbed to this idea of our lecturers are doing this. Yes, there are lecturers that are not doing well, that is true. But it shouldn't stop the students from excelling. There are a lot of Nigerian students coming out from the universities who are doing so well. And so I tell people, I said, I'm the grand president, the grand patron of Young International University. And I tell them, I said, look, it is better you get a top class, you can defend, than a first class from class of you cannot defend. That's the truth. Because people don't want to work hard anymore, so they don't want to work hard. Every time you bring lecturers, if you're working hard, no lecturer will tell you. It is only when you encounter see, what we get from the university is just the basics. In order to practice, each profession has standard requirements. Anywhere you go in the world. So by the time you're done from the university, in order for you to qualify to practice, you must practice yourself to pass those professional examinations of those professional bodies. It is not in the university that you get that. It is outside the university. The university gives you the foundation to be able to pass.
One of the parents of the factor that deprives me from learning new skills and holidays, what I want to achieve is the hindrance. So both students are describing challenges. Hindrances, whether financial or even parents who may not understand the need for them to take on this extra responsibility to acquire these new skills. For those parents, it could be finance as well, or simply do not understand the importance of this. So I'm going to go to respond to this, Mr. Lawrence, for those students who want to make progress, who want to improve themselves, but they have challenges, either in finance or parents or guardians who simply don't understand what they're talking about. How can they maneuver this difficult terrain?
Okay, if you have current worry for economic reasons, they can't afford to pay for you to have a national scale development application. There are options out there. I mentioned YouTube when I delivered my address. YouTube, most of the learnings here actually. You can also search for organizations that offer things to individuals. They are all there. All the time you use to play on the internet, use it to search for such organizations. You can't be able to find a place. Also, you have uncles. People you can talk to. That's the problem you talk about. The world is being made a small village. So, you can stay in your village through the internet and you have sponsorship. You can even create a website for yourself where you can put your attributes and you'll be surprised how people will contact you. So don't limit yourself and don't say, my parents are not very let me tell you something. When we go in school, most of this we are having the information that is there to. I'm sure that when the practice of the school as well, they have to manually make tools to have that. But now you can stay at the comfort of your home and once the internet can get strategic data, very quality data to be operated. Okay, so don't say it as a challenge, as a limitation. It's not a problem. What is the problem? It means there's no solution. But what is the challenge? It means that if you take the right road, you have to still go. Okay? Someone there is no challenge. You're supposed to start not really associate. Someone has watched a movie is a good thing. Somebody someday will say, I'm doing this. If I'm not doing it, I'm doing it. And do it.
Okay, let me take it practically, because for me, I don't accept those excuses at all. Students, people must learn to be humble. People must learn to show respect. You must show respect. There is no way there is nobody here, no matter how you your background, there is somebody within your family, there is somebody within your town, there is somebody within your community who has a listening ear. But you need to show humility. That is the simple truth. Once you can show humility and walk up to somebody, and remember those days when my cousins would return, I would go to their houses and ask them, I say, student, what are you student? When I is that something that I can do for you? You know, this is how to build it. And then I would say, okay, take this, and you wash it and come back. The day you come and say, I need help, there is no way he will turn his back against you. People just like to. Let me play a scenario to you. Two cousins of mine came to me. I don't want to mention their names. One said, brother, I need assistance to go to a bar and buy shirts and sell to bankers in Okereke. I need like 90,000 naira, okay? The senior brother to the same person came and said, brother, I need 3 million naira, I need 1.5 million naira to buy a car and use it to run around to do my business. Who would you invest in? The 90,000 person. And I did that. I gave him extra 10,000 naira to cover his transport expenses. In 6 months, by the time I came back from Christmas, I saw a turkey in my house. He has appreciated me with a turkey. He has grown that business from that amount to a bigger business today. People must learn. People must learn to show respect to their brothers, show respect to their uncles, show respect to their seniors. If you don't do that, you keep lavishing in poverty. Poverty is not an excuse at all, because most of us here keep on poverty, and now we are today.
Thank you. Good afternoon, students. What Julius said. Humility. This goes to the students. Humility. You cannot cultivate an orange and you go and reap a corn. You must learn to respect the people that you need help from. You must, with immediate effect, avoid bad company. I'm a youth activist, by the way. That's why I decided to put a few words in what you're saying. Bad company. You must focus on your studies. The problem with our country today is that you cannot even get the truth from the altar, even in churches. The youth must be taught, because the youth, they are the future. So you that is here now, you have everything that you need to be successful in life. They have said it all. They have taught you about honing up your potentials. They have taught you about getting more certificates. I studied chemical engineering, by the way. I graduated 18 years ago. Today I manage a very successful construction firm in this town. Chemical engineer, hiring civil engineers and architects. You must focus. You must do away with those friends that will tell you not to go for your lectures. Let me not take much of our time. They have said it all. Thank you.
We haven't had a single speak at this event at all. So, finally, I have a few.
We have gotten it all. You've said it all. The value orientation has changed dramatically. Instead of struggling, instead of engaging in society, the critical point now that is reigning across universities is about cultism, which is a sign of weakness on any member that is a cultist. That is what you see. You mentioned about humility. You mentioned about other issues. What we see among ourselves. Of course, you don't blame everything on the lecturers. You don't blame everything on the curriculum. The greatest challenge in the Nigerian educational sector is the curriculum. They are now forcing us, dashing us what we must teach. Starting from the time we got the IMF loan and the associated conditionalities. When time the NUC, somehow, they've given us 30% now to using their 60 mass now. They say we can now devote 30% for local content. Before it is 100% Europeanized. And you teach people what they don't need. In primary schools, which is supposed to be the foundation, what do? Issue of lesson. People will go to school and come back in the morning and come back 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. They will say lesson. What do they teach them? What we don't know. The little time they needed to rest, to engage their brain on other skillful activities, all of them are in lesson. Parents are not there to even know what they teach in lessons. Then their child comes back home, very weak, doing nothing for you again for the whole day. And we don't know that the problem is starting from there. Those people who graduate into university when they enter here, what is the grade at grace? Certificate. We want certificate at all costs. And of course, when we graduate these people that probably have no focus, some of them will be the people smartly to go to up there and become lecturers to teach people without content. So it is a cycle. We must ask ourselves questions. And there are certain things we must not leave behind. They talked about you reading course A or course B. Remember that when you read those courses, you must make yourself distinct from others. When I was doing mine, I was seen in my family as a weaker person because my father was an chartered accountant. And other people were science inclined. And he said, this political science you went to read, I don't want it to be a liability to me. So as God will have it, that rejected stone turned to become the... So everything is about adding value to yourself. It's about what you want to do with yourself. You rightly pointed out, education will give you preparatory. That is why our focus now, as I mentioned to you privately, the team, is that before we leave for Christmas, we'll finish paying the remaining 8 billion to buy off Afri Hub. This Afri Hub we are buying off. We've already engaged and gotten some sophisticated software. And the software will now be for all-round training. All-round training for staff and for students. You go there. It's not going to be 100% controlled by ESUT. We are going to sign off with the vendor so that it can sustain itself and generate funds. You will get certificates for students before you graduate. You can have 3-4 certificates from them. And it will be competitive. It's not just certificate. It is skill driven. You must acquire the skill. You must start making money before you graduate. As a VC, I will enroll and pay. I will enroll and pay because after VCship, I don't want to be obsolete. I'm preparing post-VC era. So that by the time I finish VC, you'll be watching, thinking that it is another VC. I will be engaging in maybe AI or Internet of Things, or other things you never knew that I already have capacity to do. So I thank you for this engagement. I thank our students for being here. We'll challenge our alumni. We'll challenge the SUG leadership. These are the kind of things we need you to be engaging your minds on. We shall give you more opportunity to engage with them after today. Anytime you are ready as SUG, continue to organize periodic refresher meetings with them so that you will get their contact. You will know them. Before you graduate, you already know where you are going. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, our Vice Chancellor. I call the National President for both of thanks to closing remark. And after that, our Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor Chidiebere, will give us closing prayer.
Thank you very much, all. Just to remind us and remind the VC that we had agreed we will have photo shoot after now. It's been a wonderful time, and I hope we have added value to yourselves. From here, and let me tell you, I heard somebody say no lunch. No what? So much, thank you. Because I can say, because, so please, we are available for you. We are very much available for you. We'll make our contact known to you so that you can reach us. And let me remind us, it was said here, as you live here, even if you go on holidays, find out where the Alumni Association is meeting in your various states and be part of it, even as an undergraduate of this university. There was a question that was brought to my notice. Somebody asked, what is alumni? Please, alumni represents graduates from this school. If a female alumna, if a male alumna or alumna, okay? So the essence is you graduate from here and then you work towards networking amongst yourselves to improve the welfare of those who are here. Without wasting much time, we have an alumni center that we wish to open just after now. So we'll take the pictures. Please come and see what the Alumni Association has done for us to bring the Alumni Association closer to the university. Thank you very much.
Let us pray. Stand up. Move your cap, put your cap on your head, at the front house. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Father in heaven, we thank you for this wonderful opportunity you have given to us to gather here, to learn and to help ourselves. And this is in line with the scripture that says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. We gather to gain knowledge, and we know that Spirit has imparted that knowledge in us. Help us, Holy Spirit of God, that all that you have learned here and put them into practice. Continue to bless our panel that told us their experiences in their various walk of life. We pray, Lord, that next time they will also reveal more to us, to help us. Help our university, help our students, as we engage ourselves in other activities, especially at this time, that the economy is getting higher and higher. Father, that you will continue to preserve us and put in us such wisdom that will enable us to overcome, so that at the end we will return all glory to you. All this we pray through Christ our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you so much.
Them they look you all eyes for me like a two-pack, yo. I keep them Balenciaga, they shady milli, a two-bad, yo. I know they for your chit-chat, yo. Carry your matter, they go TikTok, yo. My gen to the zongo, I know they look back, yo. When I land, there you go, see commando. I don't land, there you go, see commando. When we